Hey, True Bodies, welcome back to my channel. Okay, full disclosure, I actually have recorded this 12 times already, and I keep getting a little bit tongue-tied on some stuff, but I'm going to try and do this video within 5 minutes so it can be really quick, really fast, so I can get started on the next video, which is going to be the top 10. So, I wanted to present you guys with some information regarding why weight gain happens in the first place and why all these medical symptoms are rampant in our society. So make sure and push the subscribe button down below, like the video, and share it please, because we want to try and build our subscribers so I can do the live Q&A chats. And I want to say thank you to everyone that sent in emails and also asked about being part of the case study program. Those are completely full now, but I am going to open up this fall for more case studies. So if you'd like more information on it, or you want to be put on the waiting list, just to see if it's something that you want to do, just make sure and email me, truebodiesbybeth@gmail.com, and just drop me a line. Okay, let's get started. So I constantly have the question, what do you eat? What did you do? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? So I can't tell you what I do right now, but I can tell you what I don't do. I don't count calories. I don't weigh my food. I don't spend hours worrying about what I eat. So wouldn't it be nice if you didn't have to follow a plan that was so strategic and so crazy and cumbersome, where especially if you're a mom or if you have a very busy job, you can't be sitting there counting this, counting that, worrying about this, worrying about that. That's not the way we're supposed to live our lives, because we miss those little moments where we could be sharing about the goodness of God and what He wants us to do in our lives for His glory. And I decided long ago I wasn't going to do that. So here's what I found out. When you eat food, your pancreas releases a hormone called insulin. Now this is very important, so if you have to take notes, if you have to write things down, I want you to get this concept, because this is what everything is based on. So your pancreas releases insulin, and here's what insulin does. It makes sure to absorb the amino acids, correct, that go into your system to build the protein in the muscles. It also helps move the potassium to where it needs to go so you don't have the headaches and the muscle cramps. But it also conserves the food that comes in into energy. So it turns the food into something called glucose, and that's only if you've eaten sugar and carbs, or carbs, either one. I count sugar and carbs as the same thing in my life right now. So imagine this. Imagine you're told, as someone who could probably stand to lose some weight to help your cholesterol, that it might be best for your metabolism if you eat 6 times a day. Oh, and make sure that you have healthy snacks, because now you can find the low-fat cookies on the shelves for everywhere. So think about this. So you're eating 6 times a day, and every time you put food into your mouth that's a carb or a sugar, it elevates your insulin. So now you're telling your body let's say you have 6 meals, let's say you have snacks, let's say you have sugar coffee drinks, let's say you have a soda at night before you go to bed. Every single time you put something like that into your body, you're sending that hormone out called insulin that says, okay, I need to store this energy. So your insulin is always elevated. So think of it this way. This is how God designed us to be. He wanted us to store energy whenever we needed to so we could do the jobs that He's designed for us. So that energy gets stored into cells. And here's what happens. Your insulin acts like a key that opens up a cell and puts the glucose in, and then says, you know what? We've got a little too much insulin going on, so let's just close that. We're going to put some glucose in there, and then we're going to let the rest of the insulin spill into the blood. So now you have insulin in your blood, which produces high blood sugar. So this is why I believe about 90% of the population walks around diabetic or pre-diabetic. So here we go. Now you're eating more and more and more, and then you turn around and your doctor tells you, okay, cut out the fat, cut out the meat. You need to eat a lot of vegetables, okay? But you need to eat low fat, low salt, and you need to count your calories. So has that worked for you? Is that working for you? Have you tried that? Oh, and you need to make sure and exercise a few hours a day. We really would like you to do 30 minutes, but it'd be great and ideal for you to exercise an hour. So now you have high insulin because you know all that low-fat food is full of sugar, fake sugar, dextrose, maltodextrose, a whole bunch of chemicals. You got tons of processed stuff in it, and carbs. So I can tell you right now, we could get a box of something right now that's a cracker or a cereal or something, and I could read, 50 grams of carbs. So you're only supposed to have about a teaspoon of sugar in your system at a time. And as Americans, and the way our diet in the food pyramid is, with all the grains on the bottom, they want you to have, is it 6 to 11, I believe? You're talking about 300 grams of carbs? And how much sugar does that translate to? So roughly, it's been noted by the scientific journals, it's been noted that Americans eat about 50 tons of sugar total in their lifetime. Do you really need that much sugar? And here's the funny thing, when all the low-fat diets and everything started, here's what happened. The obesity went up. I mean, now they're saying that since 1981, which is when they redid everything in the food system and started introducing the low-fat things, you're looking at a population of about 65 to 70% that are obese now. I mean, it's an incline of about 20% since 1980. That's insane. Insane. So something's not working, and something has to change and be done differently in order for this to stop. So you have all this insulin that you're pumping into your body that keeps everything elevated, like your blood sugars, because all your body knows is, you know what, I have all this food coming. So here's the two things that are happening with insulin. Your body is preparing for an apocalypse, which is why you have fat, usually in the midsection, because that's usually generally where the body stores it. But it's thinking, oh, this person keeps eating so much, I've got to be prepared, something's going to happen, we're going to be without food for a long time, and that's where the fat comes from. And then the other end of that, when insulin is in your blood, the liver hears that. It's almost like the insulin is crying out, and the liver just doesn't want to hear it anymore, so it shuts everything down. So then you have something called insulin resistance. So in turn, here's what happens. Then you become more hungry. So the more sugar and the more carbs you eat, the hungrier you become. And then it's a vicious cycle that keeps going on and on and on. So people, listen to me when I tell you this. The weight and all of the symptoms associated with arthritis, dementia, Alzheimer's, heart conditions, non-alcoholic fatty liver, muscle cramps, soreness, fatigue, I mean, even down to something simple as the skin tags we have, is all driven by insulin and insulin resistance. So I want you guys to understand that, because here's what's going to happen is, as we go and progress through this, if you ask me a question about a certain kind of food, my question to you is going to be, does it raise insulin? How does it affect your insulin? That's what I'm going to ask first, and that's what I base everything on. So when I even go shopping at the grocery store, that's what I look at, because our bodies, the weight, I mean, I keep focusing on the weight because I've had so many questions about that, but our health is a hormonal issue. Insulin is a hormone. It affects everything. It affects the estrogen. It affects everything in your body. So once the hormones are not working correctly, then your organs are affected, and then your brain is affected, and then your muscles are affected. So many things can happen, and this is why when people reach a certain age in their life, usually starting around maybe late 30s now, it used to be later, it used to be in the 50s, they have a complete body meltdown, because we've been stuffing sugar and carbs into our body for so long it can't take anymore. I mean, that's just the way it is. Because here's the thing, guys, when your body runs off of sugar, toxins are produced when it runs off of sugar. So you start creating these toxins in your body, everything gets messed up, your gut gets messed up, you start having indigestion and acid reflux, and then you turn around and you're like, why can I not eat a pizza without having acid reflux? There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. Okay, so I've already gone too long. Sorry about that. But I want you guys to know one thing. The weight and all of the symptoms are caused by insulin resistance, and the health symptoms that you have are just exactly that. They're a symptom of all of this. So what do? We lower our insulin. So I'm going to tell you on the next video how to do that. It'll be the top 10 so we can get started on this together and you guys can continue the journey with me. Once again, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Feel free to comment on the video, like the video, and of course share. And I will see you guys again very soon with the top 10 so we can get started. All right, bye-bye.